Hello and welcome back to Mechwarrior 4 Mercenaries. I am your host Nadlug. With me I have a guest. Introduce yourself.
Step 232 here with Nadlug.
The weekend, Solaris fans,
You have to introduce me twice.
Well, why not? That's fun.
Anyway, as you can tell, viewers, this is a special episode, actually a special series of episodes, as it has complete voice commentary. Primary reason is because our sportscaster here often has a habit of cutting himself off, so I figured, yeah, might as well put in my own audio. This mech here right now that we are taking out for this first light match is the Wolfhound. It is about a 35-ton light mech. I have it equipped with 2 medium X-pulse lasers, 2 ER small lasers, and 1 ER medium laser.
Okay, that's a lot of lasers.
Yeah. A lot of light mechs usually go around with heavy laser builds because really the ammo restrictions of ballistics and missile weapons really kind of put a hamper on your firepower because you don't really have a lot of tonnage spare to slow down more ammo.
So now, so with the rockets and ballistics, do those do more damage to the lasers?
They're about on par. It really depends on what sort of armor you're shooting it has. Me personally, I'll always go with ferrofibrous, although there is also reactive, which is better versus missiles and ballistics, and reflective, which is good against lasers.
With reflexes like those, he should expect it more often.
It really just depends on the weapon size itself. Every single weapon type, be it missile, beam, or ballistics, they all have their big punch weapon. For beams it would be PPCs, ballistics it would be Gauss rifles, missiles they're I think they're called Arrow 6 missile clusters or rocket clusters, I can't remember exactly right off the top of my head.
Wow, you just plowed through the trees.
Yeah, they're just kind of obstructions really. They actually will block a single shot each.
Not a big surprise,
that
because
bush
these
right
light
there
mechs are
blocked off the
cheap.
shot from
A single
that,
weapon system on the assault circuit can cost more than an entire mech in this league.
So there's
Anyone
kind of destructible terrain in this.
Somewhat. The actual terrain itself isn't destructible. I do believe that if you fire enough into these walls you can see off to the right, eventually they will break down.
So the trees are basically cardboard in this situation.
Pretty much.
They kind of look like it. Nice cardboard covers.
This actually was one previous episode where I was basically really frustrated with the way the level was playing out.
I don't know how he does on the field,
I just stomped through a jungle shooting every single tree because I was just so frustrated with it.
Okay, so now you're on fire. What do you do to take care of the fire, though?
That is a graphical effect from the SRM rockets that I just got shot by that Osiris with. There's really nothing you can do about it besides not getting shot. I do believe it has the effect of generating additional heat, which throughout this whole match I've been having to deal with as I've been using a heavy laser build. Lasers generate a lot of heat, which causes your mech to obviously overheat. Overheat your mech and it'll shut down temporarily.
And then during the shutdown, you won't be able to fire at enemies or walk around them?
Won't be able to fire and won't be able to move.
Bam! It's game over.
As you just sit in the lake.
Solaris fans, we have
yes,
a winner.
actually, sitting in
His
water
name
does
is
cool your mech off
Spectre,
quicker than
a
usual.
mercenary turned Solaris pilot who has won the match tonight. I've never heard of the kid before, but that was one.
So these are pretty short
performance.
matches.
So congrats to Spectre for his first Solaris
Pretty
victory.
short, yeah.
Until next time,
Surprisingly
Solaris
enough,
fans,
light
this
mech
is Fisher.
matches
Signing off.
actually are the longest matches that I've ever have recorded. The heavier mechs tend to carry significantly more firepower, which basically allows you to chew through other mechs a lot quicker. This next match is in a new arena, the Coliseum. I'll be taking the Razorback with 2 extended-range medium lasers, 2 light autocannons. I'm sorry, 2 light autocannon 2s. The 2 stands for basically how thick the shell is, and 2 light machine guns.
So now for the autocannons, do those fire missiles or what do they fire?
Those are ballistics.
Those are ballistics.
I also have 2 light machine guns to back them up as well.
Alright. So
I'm carrying light variants because they just have a little bit less weight. I believe the in-game description is the barrel is sawed off. Not literally sawed off, but the barrel is cut short, so the weapon itself weighs a little bit less.
So, why do you go into third person?
It just lets me get a better view of the battlefield, wider field of view. You can see what's going on better.
This is the sort of fighting you don't
bigger
get in
threat
any other
right
weight
here with
class.
this
Mechs
Cougar
digging this way and
coming
that.
up
Munitions
right now.
fire all over the place. This is classic light mech
I
action.
see.
You need to be able to do precision piloting and quick thinking. Some of these guys are really on, and it should be a great match.
Oh, jeez, you just got jumped out into hell right then.
Yeah, I took a full missile volley. That's the reason why I said this Cougar is a
Sometimes the fight
pretty
is
big
all about
threat.
position. Right now, people are lining up.
Well, we'll
shots
see it
almost
later.
around
It's
the defensive.
my personal favorite
You never
light
can tell when
mech
situations
for
like this
a
are going to break.
very wide
Then
variety
there'll be
of
a lot of
reasons.
action on the kill board.
So,
Speaking of mechs, I gave you a list of all the light mechs I had available, and you chose 4 from the list of names I gave you. Any particular
Yeah.
reason why you picked those 4?
I don't know. I just picked the ones that sounded the most appealing to me, so I picked them.
You actually picked a pretty good set. The Wolfhound, which we saw in the first video, is same as the one that we're shooting right in front of me. Probably different loadout.
Most of the time you don't recognize any of
It's
these
pretty,
but
it's kind of slower on the light mech
When
scale.
I was a kid, I
A
remember
bit heavier
seeing some
armor.
hotshot nobody dominate a
Far,
season on the light
far,
circuit. Later, he was
weapon
a Solaris
loadouts.
champion.
This
There's
one, the
something
Razorback,
magical when
is
you
pretty
watch
average
someone's
as
career
well.
from the beginning.
You can carry a
That's
balanced
why I
load of
think
missiles,
fans who
beams,
tune
and
out light
lasers.
matches
I
are
really
really
personally
missing
don't
out.
like using missiles all that much. They do show up in the third and fourth match in this video.
So I see that you've got a little thing on the lower left showing you where you're taking the most damage. What do you do to fix certain parts? Or do you do anything?
Actually, the one on the lower left is the target's health, or target's armor
that's target's.
status.
Oh.
Mine is on the right side, and there really isn't anything you can do in these matches to repair yourself in the middle of the battlefield. The only thing you really can do is turn your torso and face your mech away from wherever the damage is coming, and allow it to hit your arms, your rear, your legs, any part that isn't damaged particularly badly. I really don't start doing that until the medium-heavy matches, because there really just isn't that much firepower going around.
Exceeding recommended level.
Now for destructible objects, like what was in the last one, are there any in this one? Like I can notice some trees, but what about the little columns that are randomly put out along the
To be
field?
honest, I've never really tried to destroy
Enemy
them.
detected. Enemy detected.
Because I saw you were shooting around them before, and it didn't seem like they were falling apart.
Most of the, apart from trees, most of the terrain in this game is actually pretty sturdy.
3 chalk marks for Spectre.
Like buildings I know for certain you can destroy. I don't know if there are any aren't any in the Solaris matches, however. So there's really nothing I can show for that. The columns, I would assume they could be destroyed, but they would take a lot of shots, and those shots would really be better used on shooting opponents.
Oh, I can see that.
So what do you think so far of the mechs you chose?
They seem pretty sturdy for fighting, for sure, because you've been kind of knocking down your opponents pretty fairly easily.
Yeah, this Raven gives me a bit of trouble, though. It doesn't give me trouble for too long.
No. It just explodes off into the distance.
The winner is Spectre, the fancy merc hotshot Solaris jock. He's chalked up another victory on the sands of the Colosseum. I just bet we'll be seeing more of him. Well, take care, Solaris fans. This is Duncan Fisher, signing off.
Alright.
Took a lot of damage. I actually did take a lot of damage that match. The mech I was piloting is now crippled, which basically means it'll take 2 weeks to repair, as well as cost me a bit of cash. Nothing compared to what an assault or a heavy mech would cost.
Montenegro, the sun is setting behind Merrick Tower. People
for
are
this
still
third
crowding
match,
the
we were in the
streets, waiting to
factory,
get into one of Solaris' most popular arenas. You know what that means?
It has a bunch
That's
of
right,
rubble
Solaris
lying
fans.
around,
It's factory
some
time.
scrapped
This is Duncan
buildings.
Fisher, and we have an exciting, fast-paced, lightweight Solaris match for you tonight.
Apart from that,
many of the legends of
pretty,
Solaris got their start in the
honestly
lightweight
kind
circuit,
of dull.
so
I don't really
perhaps we'll
like
see
the
some
factory
future
all that
stars tonight.
much.
So
But
stay tuned
yeah,
for some
it is what
intense
it
action
is.
in the
The
junkie.
mech in question is a Raven. I actually have it with a rather diverse loadout. I have a light PPC, a Streak 6 SRM launcher, and a Streak 4 SRM launcher.
Enemy detected.
PPC is basically the bigger punching beam type weaponry.
So the one that you're shooting.
Yeah. Stands for particle projector cannon, and the Streak SRMs are basically regular SRMs, but they have a slight homing capability that if you fire them while you're looking at a target, they will do their best to home in on it.
And
The lightweight matches are all about
which
a
is
trade-off.
would you say is better,
You
the
want more
Raven or
firepower
the
or more
Flea, which is
speed?
the
When I
mech that
was
you're
on
fighting
the
right
field,
now?
I can tell you how
They're
I always
actually
went.
really
guns, and more
very,
guns.
very,
I think
very
speed is
similar
good out in
style
the real
mechs.
world,
Both
but
are
when all I'm facing are other light
more or
mechs,
less
I want to have the
dedicated
power
scouts.
to rubble my
They
opposition
really aren't
fast.
meant for direct
Sure, I'm
fight.
an easier target, but even a slow
I
light
would say
mech
the
can kick it
Raven
into
is
overdrive in a
better.
pinch.
I believe it's also a newer chassis. It can hold a slightly better loadout of weaponry. The Flea you'll mostly see with a flamer and a couple machine guns and some light lasers. But with the Raven, you have a little bit more room to fit a little bit bigger weaponry onto it. Me going after another Cougar.
And when it comes to Raven versus Flea, it all depends on how you're moving around your opponent.
Yeah, typically
detected.
it's not really too difficult
One thing
to
I absolutely love about light matches is that these pilots are hungry for a win and are
the AI
playing on their own
isn't spectacular.
terms.
They don't really
You very
use too
rarely
much
see
strategy
some
all that
corporate
much.
mouthpiece here. Some of the heavy and assault matches feel
And
more like a
they
battle
can
of companies rather than mechs.
Basically
Down here in the
change
trenches,
targets
it's
at the
all
drop
about
of
the
a hat.
individual.
Really
a lot
can't
of these
focus
jocks
fire
aren't
like
even
a
in the
person could.
stable. They just play the game on
As
their
you can
own
see here, I'm
terms.
just running around this guy, and he's still focused on the one guy that's not really even a threat to him at this point, because it ran off, went after something else. Having said that, this is actually a really dangerous engagement for me. The Cougar is significantly better armed and armored than a Raven.
The pilots out there are putting in one heck of a defense performance. They really are giving the audience their money's worth.
But you're definitely showing it off with how you're maneuvering around. That's for sure.
The light PPC honestly really helps. As you can see, every single time I hit him, it knocks his mech around a bit, throws off his aim,
Another mech down.
and does a
This time
significant
Spectre.
amount of
That's his
damage.
second of the match.
Ooh.
This is what it looks like when you overheat and shut down. That's me frantically trying to start up quickly. I actually wound up mashing the key a bit too much and shut myself down on accident.
Well, I guess you're lucky that you weren't attacked while you were in shutdown.
Yeah, that would have been an easy kill for anyone. If anyone had actually chosen to take advantage of it.
So how much heat does the particle cannon put onto you?
I
Bam,
forget the
bam,
number
bam.
that it gives you
Spectre
in
makes it
the
look easy. Now let's see if he can go the distance.
mech lab, but a single shot will put you up about a fifth of your thermal bar. You can see it on the left side of the radar.
Alright.
It is a light PPC though. It does less damage, has a higher rate of fire, and produces slightly less heat than
He
a normal
nailed another.
PPC.
Spectre is up to 4 this match.
And I think I just noticed 3 different camera angles you can view through.
Ammunition depleted.
Or is it
Yeah.
just 2?
Heat exceeding
There is-
recommended level.
Actually 4. There is the cockpit view, then there is third person view directly
Warning,
behind your mech,
heat
and then
exceeding
there's
recommended level.
to basically to the left and right sides of your mech as well, like kind of like an over the shoulder style camera. There's also down view and reverse, like rear view, but those don't get used very often because you can't shoot behind yourself.
So, now,
Pow,
I
and
see
that's it.
that you took him out while he's in the water.
Fast and furious, that's the way the light mech competitions go. Our winner tonight is Spectre, a rookie Solaris pilot to watch. He's earned his victory lap. Live from the factory, this is Duncan Fisher signing off. See you next match, Solaris fans.
These Solaris matches have been, they're basically split up into different weight classes of the mech: assault, light, medium, heavy. They're also split into these 3 different arenas. The first 3 you fight are obviously the tournament ones. This next one is, I guess, more or less an exhibition match.
Covering another light match.
Really has no purpose other than just for fun.
Some of the new faces have been showing a lot of
I gave you
potential,
4 mechs
and some of the veterans
names. I
seem to
thought
be
there
hitting
were 4
a new
different
level of
arenas when I
play.
started
The
recording
results
these,
have been a
but
dynamite
since there
season so
wasn't,
far,
we get
so
to see
sit
an
back and
exhibition
enjoy
match.
some excellent light mech fighting.
As I said earlier, the Cougar is by far our most favorite light mech. It can carry a large variety of loadouts and carry some surprisingly big weapons, given its weight class size. I don't really have any of them with me this time. I am carrying 2 small X-Pulse lasers. Those are the blue ones.
I wonder how the view is from the air. He's
2
gone.
medium lasers and 2 Streak 4 SRMs. Sorry, not
Warning.
LRMs.
Heat exceeding recommended levels.
So, do different mechs handle heat differently?
You know, I'm not exactly entirely sure.
That was
I
one
think
heck
they
of a
do.
battle.
It certainly
Everyone
feels
clustered
like
together. It looks
heavy
like he was
mech-
looking this
heavy
way
and
that,
assault
leaving
mechs
himself
can
wide open for that final
hold
shot. You have to
significantly
have eyes in
larger
the back
amount
of
of
your head out
heat.
there sometimes.
But then again, you know, they have like
I was in-
more built-in.
Oh, that was an
sinks.
easy kill.
Yeah, he was already almost dead by the time he came up to me. The reason why I really love the Cougar mech
Enemy
is
detected.
the wall there.
That's productive.
The reason I like the Cougar mech so much is it's any bit just as fast as any of the other light mechs. It has a nice small profile while not being too big. Really balanced distribution of hard points for placing beam cannon, beam ballistic and missile weapons.
For entering that water, you...
really good mech. I'm sorry.
For entering that water, you've been taking a lot of damage. As soon as you entered, you started getting, by the looks of it, pounded by missiles and lasers.
Yeah, that's because more or less because I just ran between these 2 mechs. I really don't show a lot of good piloting ability in these early matches.
Even though at the end of the day,
In the later heavy and assault matches, it really comes down to just positioning yourself properly and taking out your immediate threats as quickly as possible.
Lots of tinking
And
away
only
at the armor,
exposing
but
yourself
no
as
one's
much as
ready to
possible,
come.
as well as turning your torso so that, you know, your less damaged arms can soak up hits while your more important center torso doesn't get hit. This is why I love light mechs.
Because you can just dance around them.
Yep. He keeps missing, he can't turn as fast as I can.
Did you take him out? No, you didn't.
No, not yet. I just, every now and then I'll do that just to break a little bit of distance so I can get a couple better shots on whoever I'm going after. That green smoke you see is me flushing coolant, which is you have a limited amount of it, and it lets you basically dump heat and get rid of it really quickly.
That seems convenient.
So
were you just trying to overheat that with the mech so you can get an easy shot off?
No, if I wanted to overheat mechs, I would either take a plasma or a flamer. Those are literally just... they're more or less dedicated to generating heat in any mechs. At this point, I don't really know why I did it, but I turned off the UI just so I could get a nice view of the mech, mechs fighting mechs without any sort of HUD.
He's amazing.
He's amazing.
That ends another light match
Also
of the
matching
season.
the crouch button
Spectre
for no
has
reason.
won again. A Montenegro crowd really seems to have taken a shine to him.
Well, that about wraps it up for
with the
these
kid, and I think he has the right stuff to make a name for himself in Solaris.
As always, I have been your host,
Congrats again, the
Adlug,
Spectre.
and my guest,
This is Duncan
Stev232.
Fisher,
Hope to
wishing
have you
all
back
of you a
again for
good
another
day.
video.
That was terrific.